Welcome back to OnlySkye, where we talk about the most mundane shit you can think about. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about ADHD and friendships. I'm not that good at rambling and barely even good at socializing, so I'm just gonna, just talk about this as casually as I can, and I hope you can follow along. So ADHD in a lot of us can look like either we're paying too much attention or too little attention to everything. So the key word is inattentiveness and hyperactivity, and it do affect your daily lives, unfortunately. And I promise you, I be so tired after the most basicest things, and I be wondering, like, where did my energy go? Like, all I did was chill at home. Why am I exhausted? But, my brain's going 200 miles a second, and I just got done doing 200 things that I wasn't supposed to do and not focusing on the important things. So, boom, there's all my energy wasted on just staying in my head and not putting my energy where it's supposed to be. And that sucks so bad. Now imagine having friendships that require all this energy and upkeep. And I'm not saying I'm a shitty friend. I am not a horrible friend in any aspect, because I myself am very caring and communicative, and I give leeway where leeway is due, and I'm very outspoken about like what I expect. But when it comes to a lot of these friendships, they fall to the wayside because just you're just not getting what you're looking for in this friendship, or you just totally neglect it. So you're like, take it or leave it, and it's usually leave it, unfortunately. A lot of these friendships do look like one-sided relationships. You got one person who's putting in all the energy, and one person who's showing more compassion or that they care more, and then the other side is like they're too busy for you, or they're too focused on themselves to really focus on you, and that sucks for both people. I don't know what to say. So where do a lot of ADHD failure come from when it comes to friendship? And the answer would be just communicating. Unfortunately, it is communication. Communication is everything when it comes to ADHD, because we're so focused on us and what we need to be doing and what we're not doing that everyone else becomes so obsolete. Like, if you know, your brain is gonna explode, and it feels like it's gonna explode, and you just left trying to sort out, okay, what's the important pieces, what can I do right now, what can I delay, just to stress a little less, although you're gonna be stressed. Another thing comes the extremer part of having ADHD and trying to build bonds and relationships. So everything usually come in extremes, so we're hyper focused on you or we're not focused. And the hyper focused part comes in with ADHD, and that's like that dopamine boost. We're trying to get to know you. We want to know everything about you. We're trying to understand you. So, you want to do the same thing for us. And as this relationship grows, that dopamine decreases, and the relationship becomes stagnant, because not only does this ADHD person usually not reach out or want to reach out because they don't know how to, or they're scared to, and it's because the relationship has died due to there is no communication, and that hyper fixation is gone, that wanting to get to know that person's inside and out, whether it's platonically or romantically, and that be the thing. that be the killer of a lot of these relationships, is that once that dopamine boost is gone and that hyperfixation is gone, it's time to go to the next thing, because it's like, okay, not that I mastered you, but like what else are we adding? Like, where's the fun? Where's the excitement? What's going on to take us out our own shit? Like an example of these type of friendships for me, I had lost a friend recently due to, number one, we did have different schedules. So, we don't see each other too often, but we're gaming buddies. And this friend was very unattentive to things I would pay attention to. So that would be like birthdays, I'd be like special events, I'd be like asking, how your day was, and so on and so forth. And like I said, these relationships goes in extremes for ADHD people. So when we're trying to build these bonds, we're trying to like build a bond, like not that what is the word, that superficial stuff. Like, that's not what I'm here for, and I don't like to talk to people like that anyway. So let's see where this goes. And this person was very, a kind of closed off. But you got to know this person, and they're very nice and caring when they want to be. But this person also had traits you didn't care for. So I just, I dealt with it. I dealt with it the best way that I can. I just ignored those parts of them. Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm sure I have to ignore some parts of me. But, the important thing that I took from it was, I'm trying, so I expect you to try, and your lack of trying shows me I don't want to try. So that's when I start to stray away from these type of relationships. And I've learned that, everyone's not looking for the same thing when it comes to friendships. Everyone's not looking for, that person that confide in. Some people are just looking for, a good time right now, and leave it alone. Some people are just looking for, temporary everything, and that's fine. But once I, as an ADHD person, realized that these type of friendships do not serve me, nor have they ever did serve me, I need to move around. And I let these people know, like, how I am as an individual, and what, like I said, I communicate what I expect, and they communicate, if they can, what they expect and what they don't expect, and whatever. And usually they don't end on bad terms, because the ADHD person leaves that relationship, or we just go no contact at all, because it goes in extremes. It either we mess with you, or we just don't. And a lot of the time these people get blocked. These people, they disappear, because why deal with it if you're not going to remember about it in like 10-15 minutes, because I'm stressing about something else. But yeah, that's the downside of ADHD friendships. Now let's talk about how to fix ourselves when dealing with relationships while having ADHD. So how do we fix a relationship when dealing with other people who do not have ADHD? Well, for one, like I said, communication. You always want to know first, what was the goal? What was the end goal of this friendship, this courtship, this platonic friendship, anything? You want to know the goal of everything. Then you want to think about what you want. Let that person know what you want. Hear about what they want and what they're expecting. That's what you always need to do. And when you get to that point of, okay, I can deal with this, I can focus on this, let's get this done. Boom, you got yourself a good friendship. But usually it don't go like that, because you can communicate all day with someone and they can still do whatever, they choose to do. And with ADHD, like I said, is either take it or leave it. We're very like, I can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't have the energy to deal with that. So it's just going to have to go to the wayside. And that's the toxic part. I want to say that is the bad part about ADHD, but it can be really good because shit, it's keeping you hyper vigilant. I plan on giving you guys a messier story time in the future, but this isn't the point of that video. I don't want to make it like that, but I can get like that. But ADHD is not a negative. It will never be a negative because there's too many positives that come with it. Too many positives with ADHD and relationships and friendships, to where you got your bad and you got your good, but the goods are really good. And I would love to just appreciate everyone or anyone that stuck around for this entire video just to hear me talk about nothing. But this is important to someone, and just know you are appreciated, you are heard, and I understand. We can always, focus on the negative, but why? There's too many positives out here to be focused on the negatives. But anywho, thank you for supporting OnlySkye, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.